all about certifications, but if we just talk about certifications, then what happens is you use a tool and it becomes an end. And the same way we don't want debate to become an end, we actually want it to be a tool to teach critical thinking. We want certifications to be a tool that will help our students continue to extend what they've been learning through the young speaker skill. We don't want our students to think, oh, the only thing after finishing YSG 3 is becoming an intern. That's like a lie. There's so much the Lord has for our kids. Who cannot be interns? So creating these certifications, we're helping them transition some of the skills they have, learn a little more, and almost pay it forward into the next stage of their life. So I wanted to give you a metaphor for helping reach ICC's mission. I don't know if any of you took your wee one swimming. I have a girlfriend who has a baby, he just turned a year, and they go to these special mommy and me classes where mom teaches them how to float. I don't really know because I wasn't there, but apparently they have these basic water safety courses where the littlest ones are less likely to drown in the pool if they should fall in. They just learn their talk with mom's guidance. So if we consider beginning public speaking as that little water safety for the 2 to 4-year-olds, that's where I'm going with this one. Go on swim team, they could actually become water safety instructors, so they instruct others in water safety. And that's how we're viewing the certifications, as taking it beyond the basic competency in the water to say, here you can instruct others, here you can actually save somebody's life, extending what they've been learning. So I have put up some of the faces of the students in the Institute who've had certifications. I have not put up everybody's face, and we have 5 more new ones, well, 5 new certificates who just were acknowledged last night. Some of them are repeat students. So I'm encouraging you to ask them, what did you learn from the certifications? Tell me how it's different from young speaker skill. And I want to give you some basic facts so you have a paradigm to know how to think about certification. When I say it's an online cohort is, I'm a Latin teacher, so cohort actually is a Latin word that means to encourage with. So the cohort is your team of people who are doing it with you, and usually they're linked with you in time. You might have heard Teresa mention earlier her cohort with some of her professors here. For our certifications, we're finding it works best to do it online with like a national leader leading the team. Oh, just so you know, you don't have to type all this.
Okay.
This is on the wiki. I've already uploaded it there. I prefer you don't run ahead, but it is there. I mean, you can type if you want, but you don't have to. I am not mandating that we're not mandating that every certification has to be done online, but it's a method we're using that works best, helps us get a lot of kids through a certification at the same time. There is direct mentoring. When I mean direct. The normal chain of command is the students work with their sponsor, maybe get access to the area coordinator, and then a national leader. When the students are in the cohort, they get to work with me, or an area coordinator directly. I'm trying to remember to include the sponsors on my email so they know what's going on. But it's fun for the students to get to work with like a national leader or an area leader, and all that I've learned about being a leader, I can start to impart that with the young students. So it's a great way to extend what we're doing in leadership training. There are always 3 main presentations, and the first one is basically where I hope to go, what I'm hoping to achieve in this certification. The final one is what I learned, what I hope to do next. And the middle one, I'm calling it the featured presentation, looks totally different for each certification. So it's unique to that certification. The cultural one, they have to do a story in that culture to connect with that culture. They have to analyze the culture. That's all part of their feature presentation. For service certification, they have to work as a team, give a presentation together as a team at an ICC event. For the newest one, the critical thinking analysis and communication certification, they actually need to research about some needs in their community and go speak to 2 different audiences to try to persuade them to take some action. So those 5 students who were on the platform last night, you could ask them if you didn't hear what their feature presentation was. And they're all focused on using their critical thinking skills to analyze an issue and then try to persuade. And then for the online communication certification, those students, their featured presentation was to make a video instructing somebody else about some type of online communication. They were directed to aim it towards a target audience. So now we're developing some content designed by the students to reach particular audiences. Audiences might be 11 or 12-year-old YSGer. There might be a chapter sponsor, or it might be a student leader. And so they're targeting it to different audiences. Just some basic facts on the certifications. You may do a certification, but you're not getting recognized unless you've been inducted through the Guild. I can tell you as an anecdotal piece of information, the students who have already been inducted seem to thrive and blossom here, and those who have not yet been inducted have a harder time. I don't know if it's because they're trying to juggle too many things at once, or it's because they actually are learning some very significant things in completing the Young Speakers Guild that they're able to apply to the Guild. You do have to be 15 years old to get started, and you must be in phase 3. That's the online communication certification. And the next session is just going to really talk about online communication and social media. So it's coming from 2 different angles.
4:45?
At 4:45, yeah. And that one you can start at age 13, because we figure lots of parents are letting their 2-year-olds go to Facebook, starting to use some of the social media. We would rather instruct them when they are young and impressionable, rather than wait until they've developed some habits that may be harder to undo. And it's a very approachable one. Kids like it. I mean, let me just say it's their favorite one, and it's the easiest. Take it for what it's worth. This is just a quick glance at some of the skills our students do learn when they are thinking critically, when they are doing debate. We talked about this yesterday in 2 sessions about public forum, but I want you to remember the certification we're talking about is not called debate. There's more to the world than debate. It's critical thinking that the students will take to go much further in life and applies in lots of different ways. So, I'm going to talk some about the critical thinking analysis and communication certification. We gave it a name called CTAC. If I'm talking with these kids every single week, it's just too much work to write out that whole name. And, names are fun. ICC likes acronyms. It's easy to say CTAC. So the group, my cohort, the students doing it with me, they're CTACers. Okay, so that's our inside language. CTACers, yep. This is the hardest certification to date. I'm not proud of it, but I don't know how else to get the content. We go through the whole art of practical debate. I am not making them read the book and answer the questions. I'm giving them interactive activities based on the lessons from each book. And it's just a lot of work to learn some of the things taught in the art of practical debate. But then they also have to do their presentations where they're thinking about speaking in the community, persuading an audience. So it's almost as if it's coursework with field work, and it's demanding. This is the only one where I actually award them points for completing the assignments. Because again, it's a lot, it's hard to be motivated. I can't even bribe them with chocolate or candy or ice cream because they're not in my room. Remember, I'm seeing them virtually. Actually, I will confess, I did bribe them a little bit. And if they got their assignment done early, they got a green box on their tally system. And for every green box, I told them I'd bring them a Hershey Kiss. So I had to get a bag of Hershey Kisses and cough up the Hershey Kisses for them. So they get points. If they get the assignment done on time, they get full points. Because we're going to evaluate and critique it anyhow and try to teach them, do it. And then if they're late, they lose a point. So it's not a real grade. It's just a point system to help with motivation. I do give them a percentage at the bottom so they can see that so-and-so only has 56%, somebody else has 12%, somebody else is at 82%. And so they're like, oh, I have to work harder because I'm way behind. And it does help them. It's hard. They're still youth. We need motivation. So that's why we do the point system. And I really like the fact that I'm not just teaching them content. I'm not just giving them information. We're making them apply it. We say we care about critical thinking and analysis, making a difference. So they are taking an issue that's import. They're getting the facts. They're doing the research on it. And then they have to find places in the community that will listen about it. But in a way, it's almost like a public advocacy speech because they're looking for specific actions. Most kids don't intuitively know about SMART, keeping it specific and measurable and attainable, realistic and timely. For timely, they think it means it won't take too much time for somebody to do it, as opposed to that it could be completed in a certain amount of time. So those are the things we're learning. I think I will take a minute to give you a sample of what their featured presentations were, so I can put some more flesh on this.
Can you repeat the SMART again?
I believe, I will check my source. Isn't that good to check my source? And these are their portfolios, so you're welcome to come up and take a look at those.
She just gave me that.
I think it's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely.
So A.
Let's say that's what they are, but you can come, we can check later.
I heard
Did you
that
get the
before.
A?
That does sound right.
Acting.
Does it sound
It
right?
does sound right.
What's the A?
The A was
Attainable.
attainable.
Oh, attainable.
So I'm going to go ahead and mention names, since we only have 5 kids in the whole world who have this certification. Franklin's was about the huge problem of hunger, and he focused it on hunger in his community, and he was encouraging people to give to food banks. So that was his. Gabby's was about human trafficking, the problems, some real stories of human trafficking. And she was trying to get people to give them her email address so they could be put on a listserv, to keep awareness going of human trafficking costs. Colleen was on the Parental Rights Amendment. She's been learning how there actually are no rights on the books for parents, and the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child is likely to move into the country, and then we would be denied even basic rights that aren't even on the books. So we're just trying to get a new constitutional amendment for that. And so she went to people and encouraged them to sign a petition for the amendment. And what's really fun is when she talked to people in the community, she said, if you're 13 or older, you can sign. So that was one way for her to do that. Jay McCaskey was concerned about community cleanliness, and she did like a trash drive in ended up spending a lot of time taking rubbish out of a church that had been flooded. So her action step was to get people to join in cleaning up the community. Who didn't I mention? Oh, and Rachel. Rachel did something I think was quite unusual. I guess they're all unusual, but just to show you the diversity, and it can be adapted to what your child is already doing. It's just a way of thinking about things in a new way. Rachel knows about a historical site in her community that talks about the Cherokee Indians, the Trail of Tears, how they were driven from their homeland. So there's this center that's there to educate people about the Cherokee history. So her goal was to get volunteers to volunteer time for the center. So that's an example of the featured presentation. So that's what makes it rigorous. Not only are they learning how to think, they have to go apply it. Any questions at this point?
So there's no age limit after the 15, as long as they're inducted?
We haven't come up to anybody who's pressing the 18 years.
Okay, so like, for example, Clark is trying to finish his induction in August. He's 18.
Well, you're allowed to be an ICC when you're 18, right? Through the age of 18.
But to do a certification, you have to be no older than 18, is that what you're saying?
Right now, the understanding is you'd have to be in chapter. Like,
Oh, okay, that is
So
my
if he's
question.
still
So
in chapter-
alumni cannot do any certifications.
I can't say that they can't. All I can say is we haven't talked about
Okay.
it. Yes?
What was the average length of time needed to complete the work for the certification?
It was supposed to be 12 weeks. My goal was that the month of May would be tidying things up. The month of May was finishing. There's a difference between tidying and finishing. In fact, those of you who know, they actually gave a presentation to the RSA, the Recommended Staff Assistants, on Sunday night. That was their third presentation that they were supposed to do in their chapter, but some of their chapters stopped in. They're not meeting anymore for the summer, so they ran out of time. So I either deny them the opportunity to finish, lower my standards, say, oh, you don't have to do it, or I create a way for them to do it. So 4 out of the 5 needed to do their final presentation, and that's why we gave them that opportunity. So I would say it's like a semester of rigorous.
So you met with them weekly for how long?
An hour.
Yeah.
I'm pretty legalistic about the hour because it's hard to carve out an hour. And so sometimes the first 15 minutes is actually tech issues. And the kids know, they can email me. I get lots of emails, I get lots of questions. It's not always clear. You can't cover everything in an hour. They get to email me questions, and that's really fun for them to know they can email me directly. So that cohort really works. We're getting to be a team, and it's different than just being with a team of buddies, because now they're having an adult that's, developing a relationship. Other questions at this point? Yes?
Okay, so about these new certifications after those speakers go was meant to pretty much train kids to be competent. These are much more specific, saying, okay, we want kids that are capable of this area, that area. Do you have any ideas of what the kids are going to do after they get this certification?
Yes.
What are your plans? Do you have plans? Do you have new things they can do?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we do. The certification I'm most interested in, and
Yes.
again, when you're asking about timing, is what I want, what the Institute needs, and all that has to be weighed out.
Yeah.
But I would like our next certification to be in construction. Because now we've got these kids with competencies, but they don't really know how to teach. And there's certain ways you're supposed to teach. I mean, there are more effective ways of teaching things. And we do a lot, we often model it. We often don't explain the principles for what we do and how we do it. So I would like to have an instructional certification. Then there could be a BPS track. There could be a YSG track. There could be a debate track. Maybe there'd be a social media track. So we could have a big cohort all doing instruction at once, then there's specialty groups. And especially for this year, with us only having 3 interns on our traveling team, when the teams come to the different areas, those who are certified in the content and instruction could be teaching the labs on those topics.
Makes sense.
It's also a good thing to put on your transcript, it adds a lot of value to your education. But the value is only there if you phrase it right, or the person reading the transcript agrees it has value. Because if they don't know who we are, it doesn't mean anything. It looks like you have a question.
Did you say the art of practical debate is the,
Textbook for this.
for this?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not making them read the chapters and getting questions and answers on it. I tell them what chapter has the information they need, and then I give them an assignment.
Okay.
And I try to make each assignment different to try to capture their hearts, because high school kids got a lot of schoolwork to do. So I'm trying to use this cohort. Remember, I just got a certification in teaching online. So when you teach online, you have to do interactive things to keep them engaged. My daughter, I won't tell you where one of my daughters took an online course this fall. I was so devastated to see how they did it. Because they weren't using all those good things I had just learned about how to build interaction. Because if you're just going to have an online course where somebody lectures at you, I don't need it. But that's, So did I answer your question?
Yes. The other, you said they each picked a field, a topic. What's the criteria for that? I didn't catch that. I mean, when I say, okay, I'm going to pick a field, what is the...
It has to express a need, so you have to explain why there's a need in the community.
Okay.
And I'm not really defining community. So I mean, if you really wanted to talk about mosquito nets in Africa, we would talk about it. Remember, this is critical thinking and analysis. So part of this is for them to wrestle with it, and then ask them questions about it. So the need is quite broad, can be broadly defined, but I have to help them figure out who they could present such a speech to, because they need 2 audiences, and they have to have a specific action step. It's going to be the problem of malaria in a third world country. So what? Like, what am I going to do about it, and how can you get people to do it? Because, and those are the kinds of questions I have.
Okay.
And then you said, Nina said she would give us a URL where we could get more information.
I will do that. Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, this is my phrase. Okay, this is not ICC's. Don't you dare say this is ICC's phrase. This is my phrase. Okay. CTAC is hard. I'm just thinking about critical thinking, analyzing is difficult. It's doable. I've got 5 kids who did it. Okay. I'm trying to get them to engage in the ideas. If something being hard prevents them from starting, I'm not going to get to it. A quote that's just become more real to me than ever is Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Remember where we're trying to get to our ultimate goal, equipping Christians to shape the future, authentic leadership, cultural communication. If the facts of debate, thinking critically, and looking at the coursework prevents them from starting, I'm not going to get to my goal. So I tell the kids, just do it. We can talk about what needs to be redone, but I want them to fully participate in it. So this is how I spoke to them about it. And that's one reason why they're not getting graded on their assignments. They're just doing the points to encourage them to do it. Because if they're doing the activities, then I know they will learn from it. some other tools for developing critical thinking. I don't want you to think CTAC's the only act in town. The Art of Practical Debate is a great place to start. It's available, great activities in the back. I have a website that you could try using for some informal debate prep online with your own kids, where they can do something with each other. But again, it's hard, and if there's not some kind of teamwork, it may fall by the wayside. You can work on it in chapter, and of course there's our tournament opportunities. Okay, we're going to play a game, and then I will go find a website for you. Okay? So we're going to play the Socratic tactic. It's actually lesson 8 from the Art of Practical Debate, and remember, 1,000 miles, single step. You have to break all those different skills into discrete units in order to get where you want to go. So this is just to help students ask questions. Okay? So you are going to be the students. So the questions you ask have to be neutral questions where you can't give a simple yes or no answer. And I'm going to make you all stand up, so I'm warning you now. The first person will ask a question to the second person. So we'll just do question, 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 question down the line. And the goal is to not answer the question statement. So we're trying to force people to engage with the questions. Remember, if we're thinking about debate, how many times do the kids have no questions to ask? So we're helping them think about asking questions.
So we're answering the question with questions? Is that how we're doing it?
You're not going to completely deflect, you're not going to start a whole new subject. So I'll give you an example, all right? First student might say, where did you go on your vacation last summer? Next student might say, who told you I went on a vacation? So they didn't really answer the question, but it's still a conversation on the same subject. She didn't talk about the price of tea in China. You know what I mean? And then the next question could be, which hotel did you stay in? So you could do it in teams if you wanted to. Like the way the activity says, you just have teams. You go back and forth, and the first one to answer the statement is out. The other one's a winner. But I thought we would just all do it. So do you want to stand up and have a reason to stretch your legs? Come on, we'll trade spots. How does that sound? And then the perfect thing is you can look at the books while I get you the URL. So good thinking. Okay, today's topic in class will be the theme party tonight. Okay? Good to go? Ask a question.
Will you be attending the theme party tonight?
Will I be attending the theme party? I'm going to ask the question again.
Will you be attending the theme party tonight?
One moment, Mr. Al.
Yes.
They're supposed to be neutral
it's
questions
not yes or no.
that don't demand a yes or no answer. Or should we start at the other end? Okay, well, go ahead, Scott. You can start it.
Not a yes or no answer?
Correct.
Is there a limited period of history that we're supposed to follow in the theme party tonight?
That sounds like a yes or no.
No.
Where, how much is where is the theme party?
I got it.
Okay, Lydia,
She's
Lydia
going.
start. Okay, go ahead.
What are you wearing to the theme party tonight?
Oh.
I could ask the same question in a different way.
Just say what is the.
Do you have
Save it, you might need your own question.
What did you ask me?
What are you wearing to the theme party tonight?
This is difficult. That's a great question, Esther.
Yeah, I asked.
Well, here, you go ahead, you got a question, I hear it coming on. I might just keep going down the list.
You and Al will be down at the end.
What is the theme of the party?
Why are we having a theme party?
How did you know I was going to the theme party tonight? Sorry, I
What do you think will be the most who do you think will be the most outlandish character?
Where would you get an outfit for the party tonight?
How many people do you think will come in character?
Great, good job. Yay. You can look in the notebooks while I get you that URL. If you'd like to take a look at their binders. Stopped.
They stopped.
Yep.
Oh, so how many did you start with for CTEC?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
I'd say I probably had another 4 kids.
So you had you had about 60% pass rate, completion rate.
Right. So when I was telling Mrs. Moon, you know, this is a really hard certification. Like 50% of my kids aren't going to make it. And she was just like, well, it's hard. Sometimes people don't finish things.
Are you spending time on any of the other certifications during this session, this time block?
No, 4:30, this time block ends, and then I'm doing social media. But you're free to ask me any questions you want.
No, I'm waiting to hear about the other
Anything.
certification.
I'll tell you if I can answer it or not.
Okay, well, this is,
Wait, let me first get this URL.
okay.
So that,
Oh.
okay, so this is my URL for everything related to certification. Okay, but it's not been vet. Everybody in ICC knows I have it, but we're not ready to go public with it because there's so much beta things. So many answers we don't have.
So it's sitesgoogle.com/site/ICC certifications.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
right.
that's it.
Can you,
I'm getting it on the audio.
Ah!
Can you click on the
Suits, does it say suits dot?
site?
Site.
Site.
What would you like me to click on? Search?
Yeah, and see just what you have listed, how many certifications are on there.
Online,
Yes.
Service,
CTAC,
critical thinking,
C4.
and cross-cultural. I will tell you, some of the stuff on here is private because I was only willing to share things with those
Who are enrolled.
who were enrolled. But now that you've been to my class, if you find a private page and you ask me to share it with you, I probably will.
So Eunice, this is where we can go about these certifications if now?
Yes.
If we're interested?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
So what you said just now earlier was that nothing links to this yet.
Correct. Correct.
So is this a Google Doc?
It's a Google site, yep. Just so you know, I think I'm the one who brought Google to ACC. So if it's your curse, I get the blame.
Well, you're
Okay.
not teaching the Google class.
This officially ends this session.